What is up, everybody, and welcome to the Financial Wolf channel. So in today's video, we are going to be discussing 3 ways that you guys can make a lot of passive income going into 2019. Getting right into it, the first way that you guys can make passive income going into 2019 is by starting a vending machine business. So I know this is kind of a creative idea. I've thought about doing it in the past. I actually made a video about it a long time ago. It's really bad, like don't even watch it. But I thought about starting a vending machine business, but another business actually took me away from starting that. I will be letting you guys know about that business soon, but right now I'm really focusing on building it up. But back to the main topic, I have not started a vending machine business yet, but it is definitely a great way to make passive income. A vending machine business is definitely something that starts out slow, especially if you're only starting with 1 or 2 locations. If you're starting out with only a couple locations, you're not going to start out making a lot of money, and it's going to take you quite some time to recoup your startup investment. So you can purchase a used quarter vending machine for $120, and these machines typically bring in about $50 per month in revenue, and the sales are typically at about a 60% margin. This depends on what kind of candy you have in the machine. So you'll be making about $30 per month in profit. So that means after 4 months, you will recoup your startup investment of $120 on a vending machine. So let's kind of scale this idea up of starting a vending machine business. So let's imagine that you invest $1,200 into a vending machine business, and with that $1,200 you buy 10 triple head quarter candy vending machines. And these machines bring in about $500 in revenue every single month, and after subtracting costs, candy costs, gas costs, you're making about $300 every single month. Because candies from like the store, if you buy them in bulk, you will make a lot of money if you put them in a vending machine and then sell like a handful of them for like 25 cents each. It's really profitable, trust me. So you'll be making about $300 every single month, or $3,600 every single year after subtracting costs. So a lot of you guys may argue that having a vending machine business is not passive income, and I agree with you to some extent, but it pretty much is passive income because you're rarely filling these machines up. You might go there every 2 weeks, every month, and go fill the machine up, and it'll take you about 30 minutes because you'll go to the store, pick up a bunch of candy, and then drive to each of your locations, fill them up, and leave. So it'll maybe average out to about 30 minutes per machine every 2 weeks. So you'll really be working only about 10 hours every single month on these vending machines. And you can even pay someone to do all the work for you. You can pay them like $10 an hour to fill up all the machines, and it probably will take them like 6 hours a month. They'll probably be working like 6 hours a month because really 10 hours is a little bit of an over exaggeration. We're just making that for an even number. So you'll pay them $60 and you keep $240, right? So you'll still be making a lot of money. So a vending machine business is passive income. And guys, imagine scaling up a vending machine business even more. Imagine investing that $300 every single month into 2 more machines and then 2 more machines the next month. And you keep investing that profit, and then you're paying someone every single month to go around and fill up the machines. You will be making a lot of money through a vending machine business, and you'll probably be working like 1 or 2 hours, and that 1 or 2 hours will be spent like directing your employees to go fill up machines. So you'll barely be working, and you could be making mega profits with a vending machine business if you keep investing your profits every single month into more machines. The number 2 way to make passive income going into 2019 is by selling an online course. So this way of making money is getting more and more popular, especially with people reading less books, and they're starting to learn more from more modern versions of education. So more people are starting to learn from online courses than from reading books. Both are still extremely important. I suggest you guys both read books about business and take online courses about business. I have done both, and it's helped me really scale my business and learn a lot about finance and especially investing. So online courses are a great way to learn, and everyone is an expert in something, whether it's plumbing, accounting, flipping phones, Amazon, FBA, drop shipping, social media marketing, stuff like that. Everyone is an expert in something, and if they can bring value to someone else, someone will pay for that information. Having an online course and creating an online course is more of a long-term play. It really takes time to get a lot of members in an online course, and it takes time to promote it and get people to join your course. course. So there are a lot of ways you can get people to join. Maybe through an Instagram account, it may be through a YouTube channel, it may be through paid advertising, it may be through, doing affiliates, getting shout outs from other creators, paying someone to promote your online course, a lot of marketing, and a lot of, using your own personal brand to sell your online course. So it's really a long-term play. It takes time to get people to buy your course. So it's really not that hard to build a little audience online. So you can build an audience of like 200 people pretty quick. I've done it pretty fast here on YouTube. Let's say you have 200 people watching you every single day. You only need one of those 200 people to buy a course for like $50, and you're making $50 a day, because there's really no cost to make an online course but your cost of time. You can make an online course for free on teachable.com. Create a course. It takes a ton of time, guys. It takes a lot of upfront investment, but if you keep promoting that course, it will be worth it in the long run. Creating an online course is really a true source of passive income. It really depends on how you do the course. If you just put all of the content in there and never add to it again, it is truly passive income. If you do hours of content and never add to it again and start selling that course in like the next 2-3 years while that information is still relevant, that course brings a ton of value to the other individual who buys it, and you're making a ton of passive income off of it because you're never doing work on the course after you created it. You never have to add to it. You never have to put any more content on there. You never have to work with that course again. All you really have to do is worry about marketing. It's really not that much effort to market a course. You can shout it out in a video you're making anyways. So technically, having a course is almost 100% passive income, and it takes almost no effort every single month. So the third and final way that you guys can begin making a lot of passive income in 2018 going into 2019 is by building a dividend investing portfolio. So this really takes time. It'll take decades to build a really quality, huge dividend portfolio unless you're making millions of dollars a year and you're making a lot of money. So if you just want to build a dividend investing portfolio and you're making like, $100,000 a year, $50,000 a year, it'll really take time to build a dividend portfolio, but it's good to start, because if you start early, by the time you retire, you are going to be making massive amounts of money through dividends every single month. So there are multiple ways you can approach building a dividend investing portfolio. Some require a little more effort every single day. Others require you just to put some money in every month and throw it in a fund. Like, for example, if you're buying REITs, you don't really have to keep up to date on stuff like that. If you're buying individual stocks, you have to look into the company every day, look to news, worry about price fluctuation. But if you're buying, more stable things like REITs or ETFs, you don't have to worry as much. Me personally, I am not a dividend investor. I look to companies that I believe will go up massively in the next 3 to 5 years. I am more of a growth investor / value investor. I look at companies who are undervalued and also have a lot of growth going for them in the future. I worry less about the dividends. I only own one dividend paying company, and that is FedEx. I don't have a lot of dividend stocks. I see a lot of great dividend paying companies, but I just haven't had the time to look into them enough that I could say 100% buy these companies. But some good ones I've heard, and some good ones I wouldn't not want to buy, would be like AT&T. It's a great company, very undervalued right now. I need to look into it more, but I know they pay a great dividend yield. Another company like McDonald's, they pay a great yield. Company's pretty stable. They're a massive company. They don't have a lot of growth going for them, but I can definitely see them growing in terms of profitability. Apple is another company. They sell a massive amount of smartphones every year. The numbers and units that they're selling every year is not growing as much, but the amount that they're charging for the iPhone is growing massively. And this is not a huge dividend paying company, but they're making so much profit that I believe they will be a massive dividend paying company in the future. Some dividend stocks that I would avoid is companies that pay almost all of their profits out in dividends, like L Brands. They have almost no growth going for them, and they're paying all of their profits out in dividends, and they're going down and down and down every single year. Some companies that a lot of people are buying right now and I don't really like is like Coca-Cola, Procter & Gamble, Johnson & Johnson. Like these are huge huge companies. They have almost no growth going for them, and they're paying almost all of their profits out in dividends. So guys, don't merely invest in companies because of their dividend, because it can always be cut. But dividend investing is a great way to build a portfolio. So focus on the fundamentals of the company, and if it pays a great dividend, that is amazing. Buying dividend stocks isn't the only way to build a dividend portfolio. If you want a little bit more of a passive way to make a lot of money every single month through dividends, buy like a REIT or ETF. That's what I would do. Invest in stocks more because you see the growth. Don't worry as much about the dividend. But if you're, if you just want dividends every single month, worry about maybe buying like an ETF or a REIT. Like a great REIT I've heard of is AG&C. I plan on buying it in the future. It pays a 12% yield. The company is, it's a great company. They own a ton of real estate, massive REIT. The only reason it's down right now is with the rising interest rates. It's a great company. They pay a 12% yield because REITs have to pay out all of their profits to shareholders. And ETFs, a great ETF that I've heard of is a Nasdaq Dvy ETF. It pays a 3.3% yield. A bunch of tech companies are in there, and they're great companies. They pay a huge yield, and they focus on, dividend paying tech companies. So dividend investing is definitely a great opportunity. It definitely does take time to build a massive dividend portfolio, but if you've built one, you will be making a lot of money if you have a lot of money in your portfolio to invest in dividend stocks. So let's say you have saved up $1 million by the time you're retired, which is not a crazy amount of money. If you're saving, throughout your lifetime, you should have more than $1 million saved. But let's say you started saving a little bit late and you only have $1 million saved up, which sounds like a lot, but if you're saving a lot of money every single year and you're saving a good amount of your income, you should easily be able to achieve this. So let's say you have $1 million and you have invested it into AG&C. Don't invest all of your money into, one REIT, but this is just hypothetical, and it pays a 12% dividend yield. So you'll be making $120,000 a year from this, dividend. Just from the dividend alone, you will be making $120,000 a year, and this is completely passive. You might want to check on, the REIT every once in a while, see how it's doing, see how the price is doing, because you have so much money in there, but literally you're doing only an hour, 2, 3 every single month. You're barely working at all, and you're making $120,000 a year just by investing your money into dividend paying assets. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please be sure to drop a like and also subscribe if you have not already to be in the first 500 subscribers to my YouTube channel.